change our definition of success. Iba na. Success right now for me is not just money. It's really being able to spend time with people that matter, having good relationships. What is success? Maybe as simple as sleeping well at night, having peace of mind. And of course, being a net giver to others. Hindi ka na lang taker, di ba?
If you're into property, you want to listen and learn from our next guest. He has 16 years experience in the real estate industry. 10 of those years is with Ayala Land. He's an author of 2 books. He's also an advisor to many people who are into the real estate. So please help me welcome Mr. Carl D.
Hey, Jerome. Hello. How are
Hi,
you?
Carl.
Hey,
well,
how
first
are
of all, I want to thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me. How are you? Kumusta?
Doing good, very good. Interesting kasi I first met you,
Yes.
Carl. I think this is like 2011 sa Rich Dad Asia event.
Yes.
And I think, oh gosh, I think we first talked natin sa CR pa.
Yeah, you're one of my idols when I was starting out. Until now, you're my idol. Yeah.
Well, now I idol naman kita sa property.
That was one of my earliest seminar before. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, when you were in Tech Tight, di ba?
Yeah, Tech Tight.
I remember the tuition was how much ba?
I think nasa 7,000.
7,000, no? Or
but,
less, di ba? Basta alam
yeah,
ko,
somewhere there.
It was not as expensive as now, but hirap na hirap ako at that time to put that together.
Wow, 2011, so that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years.
But that really helped me establish my personal parang business strategies. So,
kasi I remember you mentioned at the time you were still with Ayala Land at
Yes.
the time. So at the time, it's been like almost a decade na rin, no? You're with
Yes,
Ayala Land at
yes.
the time. Yeah, so what makes you start on your own? Like,
yeah. So, first, congratulations on your success, Jerome. So
thank
now,
you.
Loros is really bringing in big seminars na, no?
big guns, yes.
From Rich Dad to the actual Kiyosaki himself was here,
Yes.
diba, in the Philippines.
Kiyosaki,
So.
that was 2015.
And then
I think you were in that event then.
Of course, I have
Yeah.
to be there. And I think you brought in
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary V.
Si Chris Gardner.
Chris Gardner of Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, Mary Buffett. And this year, I think by the time itong video, Matthew Hasi.
Wow. And I guess I just want to tell the audience na just really capture all these events kasi sayang eh. Hearing it straight from the celebrity speaker, malaking bagay talaga, life-changing. So I encourage all the audience, pag may event, follow Loris, follow Success Resources, and just attend.
Thank you. I also met you sa MMI nung
Of
nasa
course.
Singapore.
Of course, I'm all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think, Train the Trainer, ba? You're in the
Yes,
Quantum
yes.
Leap. And I was there at the back. At the time kasi kaka-introduce ng Success Resource sa akin.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
so-
I would join with my wife. So I encourage also na if you're gonna go on seminars, go with your wife, go with your spouse.
Okay.
Para
What's the biggest reason why?
it's hard to convince your spouse. So it's more
I-repeat mo yung buong 4 days sa kanya after pagbalik mo.
it's easier na kasama mo siya. But I think if you wanna grow, it's best to grow together. So your mindset
Yes,
is in sync.
I agree.
Kayo. So yeah, we've been doing this with my wife. We've been growing together. We've been learning, and from a savings portfolio point of view, we really allocate a certain budget for learning. It can be going to seminars.
6 jars ni Harvey Education Fund.
Yes, exactly. Education fund, learning. We have some risk fund. You can have a certain fund to take risk, and then you have certain fund for recreation, for
Investing
travel,
din.
investing. So yun lang yung portfolio talaga.
Tama.
And,
Managing your money.
Yeah, and somehow, just like the jars, life is not just about day to day. You have education. You have your yung you give to others. Your what do you
Tama.
call that?
Contributions,
charity work, and then you have your education, you have recreation, you have long-term savings,
and
then
you have family pa, you have kids. How many kids you have?
I have 3 daughters.
3 daughters. So having 3 daughters not easy, no? Kasi you'll
Yeah.
be aware of 3 boyfriend coming in.
So I'm getting
later
there. So yeah, but my 3 daughters are my turning point in my life. Kasi for those who know me on a personal level, the first 5 years of our life was the challenging part. Kasi we wanted to have a baby, pero hindi kami binigyan kagad ni God. So God wanted me to really go through this stage muna in our life wherein things did not come easy. So when I was down on my knees, really begging and say, God, please, kahit one baby lang. After 5 years of praying, ni-answer ni God yung prayer, 5 years. But now I have 3 beautiful daughters na, so answered prayer talaga. The funny thing here, when the first baby came, we were so content na. And after 3 months, buntis na naman si wifey.
Wow. Okay.
So the second baby came, magkasunod. So overwhelming naman ngayon
So
yung nangyari.
it keeps flowing na yung blessing.
Yeah. So I considered my daughters a blessing. So now I have 3, 11, 10, and a 5-year-old. So yeah, life-changing because I guess if I did not go through that kumaga,
5 years.
dark times in our life, I would have taken things for granted. I would have been an absentee husband. Diba? Minsan meron tayong thinking dati na you can just delegate everything, even being a husband and a dad.
Tama.
So life-changing that part. So things are now different because of that experience.
Yes, becomes more special.
It becomes more special. You know, value things more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I jumped into yung kanina tinanong ko yung transition, but because I know before you were just a delivery boy, you started as a delivery boy sa Binondo.
Yeah.
Because I grew up sa Binondo din.
Yeah,
so tell me that
you
story.
know, I look back at everything that has happened to my life, and I'm really glad na we went through struggles. So I grew up in a typical Filipino Chinoy family. We were 13 in our house.
Wow.
13 kami in our house. So 3 families. My lola's family, including my uncle, my auntie, my family, 5 kami. 6 pala kami. And my uncle's family.
Okay.
So 3-bedroom house, 1 family per room.
Wow.
And only 2 toilets.
Okay.
So itong experience na to taught me, dahil ayoko ma-late sa school, I was the first to wake up para maka-CR ako.
Tama.
So looking back, these stories are very interesting na now I'm a morning person kasi nasanay ako. And then I remember when I was around 12 years old, I wanted this pencil box na push button.
Oh yeah.
So I told my mom, how can you buy me this pencil box? My classmates, they have this pencil box. Sabi, anak, wala tayong budget, the usual, di ba? Sabi, but if you're honor student, I will buy you. So sabi ko, wow, sige. I studied hard. I did my very best. But pagdating na report card, 76 ang grade ko.
Okay.
So yun yung tawag na pasang
awa.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yes. Ako high score ko pasang awa.
High score pasang awa. So that was a turning point at 12 years old wherein sabi ng mom ko, you should go work. If you want to buy your pencil box, go find work. So I became a delivery boy sa Binondo. So I would ride my bicycle. Pero nakatuwa I was not embarrassed nor ashamed. I was just really there earning 50 pesos a day times 6 days a week, di ba? Ganun naman ang Chinese, di ba?
Pag bata ka, you're so proud yung 50.
Oh, yeah.
Ayaw mo tuloy gastusin.
Exactly. Ikaw ba, what was your first job?
Okay, many na walang bayad. My auntie kasi they own this garments factory. So after school, aral muna, kain.
There you
Then,
go.
alam mo yung mga string.
Oh.
So 1 cent per
1 cent?
blouse. So pag naka 100 ako may piso. But I was grade 2 at that time. So parang malak na yung piso. Kasi wala kaming baon nun eh.
Wow.
Panay pagkain lang.
Piso, ah?
Yeah. Tapos I think somewhere growing up, my uncle owns this import-export warehouse. So every summer work as a cargador.
Cargador, wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? These are really golden moments, di ba? That help shape you to become more determined.
Tama.
So yeah, delivery boy, your cargador.
It builds character. Kasi.
Yes, and I look back, no regrets talaga. I feel so blessed na I went through those challenges. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Yun. Kasi knowing like earlier in my question, you're with Ayala Land for more than a decade, and I believe you're very successful at that point then. But what makes you transition
You know,
to do
it's
your
really
own?
funny story no na we grew up in a Chinoy environment in Binondo. People are in chinelas, in sando, t-shirt. So in my family, when you go to Ayala Avenue and you're wearing long sleeves and necktie, you somehow made it. So somehow subconsciously, yun na sa mind ko na, I need to go to Makati, I need to work. So eventually, I worked for Ayala in Makati, in Ayala Avenue. And it was a proud, I felt good na it was a proud moment in my life na parang, wow, ito yung sinasabi ng parents ko na level of success at that time. Di ba? But now, of course, we've changed our definition of success. Iba na. Success right now for me is not just money. It's really being able to spend time with people that matter, having good relationships. What is success? Maybe as simple as sleeping well at night, having peace of mind.
Tama.
And of course, being a net giver to others. Hindi ka na lang taker, di ba? So, yep, that's how I ended up with Ayala, working for Ayala. And it was a turning point again for my life kasi I used to just be with delivery people, cargador, and then now I'm with people na nag-aral sa Ivy League school. These are like the Fernando Zubels, Tony Aquino, Rex Mendoza, Tommy Raso. So really good bosses where na-learn ko naman yung thinking long-term, being financially prepared, risk management, how to not be too emotional. Di ba? Siyempre, na typical Chinoy family, minsan ang daming emotions running around. Di ba?
May mga drama. Within.
But in a corporate setting, parang it's all facts. And then, pag meron man kayong gaps, you try to sort it out without
as soon as possible,
without backbiting. Talagang very factual. So, I spent a good 10 years of my life in Ayala Land, which I look back is blessing na naman. Blessing na. So, we started developing the grit in the delivery boy. Then, you develop the professionalism in Ayala. But I guess my biggest takeaway from Ayala is the values. Kasi, yun ang nakita ko sa Ayala. They would never sacrifice financial to compromise for their values.
So talagang quality
Value. On how, if there's a problem that comes, how do you approach it? You may lose money now, but if you keep your values intact, okay yun. So yeah, good. No.
Kasi I remember noong 1997 nung nagka-Asian crisis. I was importing kasi mga shower enclosure para sa mga real estate.
Wow.
And at the time lahat nag-stop except Ayala.
Except
di ako mapasok sa Ayala noon. Dapat kilala na kita by that. Yun, di ako mapasok. Then sila ang hindi nag-stop. Once they promise gonna be built by certain date, they promise.
Yeah.
Sila lang.
Yep.
The rest na-stuck.
Na-stuck sila.
Ayun.
So I spent a good...
question din. Kasi you graduate as an architect, right?
Yep.
But why you choose sales tapos sa real estate?
Syempre when you're young, you're riding your bicycle around Binondo, you see a lot of wealthy people. And then you think about your pencil box and then
Sa Binondo, mga wealthy people naka-short chinelas t-shirt.
Diba? Yun yung maganda when you struggle. Sabi nga nila when I was younger, si Carl, malakas managinip yan, nagising. Because I would always dream, I would always say, someday. Yeah, so so you would dream big and you would aim. But blessing na you're able to be blessed to
I remember that time uso pa kalesa eh. Ngayon wala na mga kalesa.
So when I was riding my bike around Binondo, I would see many wealthy people and I would see them na wow, they would have properties, they would have rentals. Sabi ko, wow.
Even may kotse. Wow, di ba?
Yeah, so that kind of led me to, I think property is a good way to go to build your career.
So you started sales sa Ayala.
And then, an opportunity opened up. Alam mo, dati I felt, parang, wow, Ayala Land, that's such a big company. Hindi naman ako graduate from a big school. I'm not a cum laude. But, malakas lang yung loob ko. Makapal yung mukha ko. So, we applied. And at that time, it was funny. They were putting up this development in Quezon City called Montgomery Place.
Okay.
It's a target. For the first time, Ayala moved from south, the Tisoy market, the Makati, to the Chinoy market.
Tama.
So sabi na, we needed to increase our manpower ng Chinese speaking. So that was my big break to enter Ayala Land.
Okay, so yung project na first
Montgomery. So I was first hired by Ayala to service the clients of Montgomery. So mga Chinese speaking, Chinoy, ganon. So I got my good big break there. And then, funny story, so I was a frontliner at that time. And then, a few years into the game lang, siguro mga 2 years lang yata, they needed to expand into Quezon City. So, the criteria was somebody who lives in Quezon City, where I live, and is Chinese speaking. So, I was promoted to a manager at an early age because of that criteria
What
lang.
project is this?
Montgomery.
Montgomery na
E.
yun.
Rodriguez,
Okay.
So, really, really blessing of opportunities na dumating. And then eventually I became a director for sales because Ayala needed to expand. And then somehow I was able to build. I started with a group of 10. Then yung group of 10 ko, parang naging successful naman somehow on how I trained them. That group of 10, Ayala wanted me to grow it into a group of 100.
Wow. Okay.
So same formula times 10.
Okay.
So that's how I got promoted early on to become director for sales ng Ayala Land. Premier, I was assigned to Premier.
I see.
So if you're assigned in Premier, you get to service the wealthy
Tama. Kasi
clients.
ito mga medyo high-end.
Yeah, high-end. So
Okay.
I was able to see clients who have helicopters, private jets. So really eye-opening. But eventually I realized na, these are really not as important. You don't aim for these material things, diba? These are medyo, basta you aim to be a giver, to be a blessing to others. So, yeah.
True.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so
buti na na there was a turning point na I'm not too focused on those material things. Yeah.
which is good. More on sa family, more on sa people, more on giving.
I think I value most our relationships. Yeah, like you and me. We've been. I go home happy when I tell my wife, you know what? I met my classmate from 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
It brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Now, being successful sa Ayala, then after a decade, more than a decade, you transition to start on your own.
Yeah.
Why? What makes you?
You know, when I was working for Ayala, you somehow see a need in the market there. We saw that the market needs advisory. Somebody who would sit down with you and tell you, hey, this is your portfolio, this is what you need, this is what you lack, this is what's happening in the market, there's opportunity here. And then this is the whole marketplace. Kumbaga, I learned this model from Hong Kong wherein the insurance companies, they carry multi-brands.
I see.
Diba, kunwari, siyempre if you go to a one brand company, yun lang yung option mo.
Tama.
But if you go to a multi-brand, the advisor can tell you, hey, you know what, for your needs, ito mas bagay sa'yo. So I said, uy, mukhang in real estate, there's an opportunity to go to that route. So we kind of put up a company na advisory. So that's the goal, to sit down with clients and tell them, oy, this is your portfolio, this is what's happening, pros and cons. Whenever we share something, it's always advantage and disadvantage, risk, reward. So that's how you analyze.
Tama.
Yeah.
Which is good because I actually ngayon ko lang nalaman yan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, there's a need nga sa market. Kasi a lot of people you have more than a decade experience sa real estate. Which, like me, I don't have much experience, so I'll probably get your advice then, which is the best.
It's a win-win. So we give the advice, and the client eventually says, Carl, we want to transact it. So we have a brokerage within our company who will do the transaction. So win-win then. We're able to take care of our clients kasi they transact with us.
Tama. And it's a win for them then because they get to enjoy yung in-invest nilang whatever na nirecommend.
Then we have a support service wherein we also help our clients with their leasing, selling of their unit. We guide them on what to do.
Okay.
So mas guided sila if they work with us.
It's a package.
Yeah, it's a package.
Okay.
So but we're very yun nga lang, we're not open to our services are limited to our clients lang.
Tama kasi it takes time
Correct.
to do yung mga advisors.
Plus, if a client kasi goes through my company Spectrum, the property they get have a higher chances of winning. Kasi medyo na sort out namin yon na this property is better than this one. So parang ganun.
Yung value, yung location.
Yung value, location versus the target market. Yeah, good question. People always ask me, Carl, how do you choose a good property? It's not always about the amenities. Number one, it's the demographics.
Okay.
It's the target market. When you buy a property for rent or for sale, who will be your future client? Who will be the one buying your property? So demographics is important. So demographics can span as wide as a factory worker is a demographic. You can put up a housing beside the factory of, let's say, Apple and provide housing for Apple.
Tama.
That's good business. That's a factory worker level. Then you go up to the Tindera SM, Landmark. this is a good market.
May market din.
Oh yeah, there's a good market. They're okay to be in a room, 6 in a room.
Tama.
Basta malakas ang tubig because sabay-sabay sila papasok ng 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So the CR
especially
capacity.
today, I mean, traffic sa
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Manila.
Yeah.
It's so time wasting. So
I
if
agree.
property like that, mas convenient talaga.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of loan, no, which is better, mortgage sa bank or mortgage in-house?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. No? Kasi loaning from the bank is a powerful technique if you know how to execute it, if you are financially prepared. No? I remember my family would tell me, Carl, wag kang uutang. Don't buy anything you can afford. Diba? But as you go through yung mga wealthy businessman, you realize that, hey, everybody in the business world somehow has
Loan.
utang. They have leverage. No? So, yeah, if you're gonna go into loan and the bank, my advice is make sure you know and you can manage your expenses. Kasi usually the first mistake in a loan is hindi ako makabayad. Yun. So, usually first 4 years, first 3 years, you loan from in-house. Walang interest yun.
Okay.
So, the mindset there is if you're paying 8,000 a month, you have 3 million at the end, it gives you time to save. Okay, 8,000 binabayad ko. Okay, wag muna tayo mag-Starbucks ngayon, wag muna tayo mag-travel. So I can save maybe 1 million to lessen the balloon. Yeah, and then when the balloon comes, you can loan it from the bank para mas lighter yung acquisition. Yeah, so yeah, with the right strategy, leverage is very powerful. It can really increase your asset base.
Tama.
Yeah.
Okay. Yun. Tapos another question is like Roland.
Yes.
Kasi right now, I know like government also expanding Davao sa north, expansion. So maraming nga Roland opportunity din kasi you'll never know. What would be your best advice in terms of investing sa Roland?
You're right. There are many strategies in investing sa property. You have the condo, you have the house and
Houses.
lot, you have the lots, you have the
Subdivision.
hotels, you have the dormitory, the apartments, apartels, Airbnb, hostels, madami. Roland is one of them. So, buying Roland is buying something na papunta pa lang dun yung growth. So, it's still Roland. It's sometimes agriculture, ganon. But sometimes naman, it's big cuts yan kasi farmlands are big.
Tama.
So, if you're gonna buy Roland, make sure lang na you're familiar with the development in the area. Two things can happen. You buy a Roland at a good price and then boom. Diba? Mark Villar builds a highway.
Okay, jackpot.
Jackpot ka, diba? And then before you know it, Vista Mall is there. Before you know it, SM is there. There's McDonald's, Jollibee takeaway, a drive-thru already there. That's growth. But pwede rin na walang road
for several years.
For decades.
For decades.
So that's your risk. Do we take those kinds of risks as property investors? Yes. But you take the risk knowing na ito yung possible mangyari. Then you sleep well at night. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing for us. To be able to sleep well at night. Di ba? Yung hindi ka nag-worry, walang galit sa'yo. Di ba? Sabi nga nila, di ba, yung mabuti ng ikaw yung nagpautang kaysa yung ikaw yung may utang na mindset. No? So don't worry about a lot. Yeah, just be relax lang.
Yeah. Kasi I remember one of my dad's friend, dati sinamaw, he has a lot of Roland. What he does kasi, he lease it sa mga farmer.
Yeah.
So they grow. Basta alam ko, hindi lang walang puno. Dapat crops lang.
There you go.
Yeah, kasi and the reason for that they told me is para para hindi maging squatter.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yung mga ganun.
That's a strategy
so,
also.
which is very nice din at that time.
Yeah.
Yun.
So people ask me, Carl, what's a good property or what's the best? Sometimes I tell them, it's what's given to you. Minsan dumarating lang talaga eh. So kunwari, you're looking for a nice condo, yung gano'n. Bigla may darating na ibang klaseng property. So you need to be mentally prepared to analyze the property. Yun lang. So like kami, there was one time wherein we bought a farm in Bataan. But it's an area that I've never been to. Pero yun yung dumating na opportunity. Though we analyze it, it's a good deal pala. So we bought it.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, for those people like, let's say like me, not as big knowledge of property, so it's good to consult, no? Like your company. Kasi
Yeah.
I mean, at least para alam ko lahat ng pros and cons, everything.
Yeah, so I'll do a little plug, Jerome. So I've been getting a lot of private messages about questions, no? And sometimes in my talk, I would talk about leverage. But I tell the audience, you really have to sit down and learn it. Hindi siya basta ganun kadali lang. There are certain analysis. So, what I do is I open up four times in a month lang.
Okay.
Private.
4 times in a month.
4 times lang.
Or once a week.
Or once a week, ganun. 4 slots in a month for individual private coaching. So later, I'll put in the link where you can sign up.
Okay.
Then we'll schedule you when the
Kasi
next...
that's by appointment.
Yeah, that's by appointment. So we just sit down with you. Madami. I even have celebrities reach out to me and I help them plan.
I see.
Laking bagay kasi in just an hour and a half, they're able to have clarity on what to do. Ganun pala, Carl. Kailangan pala long term, hindi pwedeng short term. Okay. So, I have this opportunity. Ay, wag pala yan kasi risky. So, it really helps.
Tama.
And
Kasi
I'm happy.
sometimes mistakes sa real estate, very costly.
Oh, yeah. Very costly talaga.
Very costly.
Yeah. And most of the time, the mistake is on the expectations.
Tama.
Yeah, diba? Just like our husband and wife, diba? That's where the cause of the fight is, diba? in misexpectations. So, when people come to me, it's really a lot of validation, affirmation, and managing expectation. Yung tipong, you won't be able to make that much in just 2 years. That's too much. But maybe in 5 years can. And it's still okay. Go for it.
Okay.
So when you want to invest in property sa mga newbies, first is understand the why. Why do you want to invest in property? If you want to make quick buck, mabilisan, maybe property is not the right one. Kasi property is medyo long term.
Long term.
If you're aiming to get cash flow, then property is the best. Okay. Wala naman nagbago sa property for the longest time. It's really human behavior that has changed. Tayo right now, we're so short, patient na. We want immediate gratification. Like, I have a client, 80-plus-year-old. So, for the past 40, 50 years, she's been building up. So now, she has a significant cash flow every month. Na kahit mag-abroad siya, mag-cruise siya, ubusin niya, next month,
Meron na
refill
naman.
na naman. So, I guess, for me personally, that's how I want to enjoy my senior years. Diba? Yung, hindi mo kailangan mag-worry na, nauubos na, may extra pa ako, I can share it out, give it to charity, help out. Kasi alam ko, next month, meron na naman. Diba? And you don't have to be creative. You don't have to do a lot of advertising. Sometimes nga, a portfolio of $1 million a month or more, 3 tao lang yun. 3 staff to manage it. And you don't need to be super creative, advertising, Facebook ads. Basta may tenant, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, I want to ask in, kasi I know a lot of people, like mga, let's say, after graduate, minsan they wanna parang experience selling.
Yep.
So, a lot of them went into, let's say, sales, real estate. So, what would be your best advice, let's say, if someone venture into those, in that industry?
I think, Jerome, sales for me is a very good starting ground for a lot of people. No? Kasi it teaches you how to be, it teaches you grit, diba? You go out there,
Tama.
diba? You get rejected, pero you bounce back. I think that's the number one for my daughters, diba? If there's one thing I teach my daughters, it's to let them realize na mistake, na don't be afraid of making mistakes because that's how you learn.
Tama.
Diba? Don't be embarrassed, don't be shy, don't
Hold back or
hide just because you make a mistake. So in our household, mistakes are very welcome. In fact, one of my intentional conversations with my daughters is when I make a mistake, I tell them, I made a boo-boo today. I regret doing this, but I'm gonna bounce back. So
Tama.
if you as a dad is telling that to your kids, they realize na, okay lang pala to disclose to my daddy I made a failure today. So no big deal for us. You forget something, you go home with a failing grade, no big deal. As long as we identify, where did you make a mistake? Is it because you did not study, or you did not know that there's an exam, or you did not follow direction? So you help your kids process. So
learn from it.
yeah, kasi if I'm not talking about property, I do my advocacy is I talk about parenting.
Okay.
That's my sideline.
Which is nice kasi that's your value eh.
Yeah, I like kasi well, because of the challenges that we went through before, I realized na almost 95% of men is not prepared to be a dad or to be a husband, di ba? So
Saka walang manual kasi.
wala
being a parent.
So for those young people na you wanna build a career, I think sales is a good stepping stone. to be entrepreneur. Diba? You go out on the field, you learn how to communicate, you fail, you fall down, you rise up again. And then you meet people. I think meeting people is very important. Like when I was a young 20-plus-year-old, because of my work, I was blessed to be in an environment ng mga businessman. So I would always ask them, so sir, what's your secret of your success? And they would share with me their stories. And I would ask them, sir, what is your advice to me, a 20-plus-year-old guy? And they would give me advice. So I've kept those advice, and somehow it really helped me a lot. And now that I'm midway through my life, 40s, si Jerome is like 20s pa lang, no?
30s. Okay.
So now it's time to give back. That's why. So now I share what I've learned in the past 15 years to people. Yeah.
So now you're the one giving advice.
Yeah, giving advice. Like now I have somehow my trainer for gym is a 24-year-old guy.
Wow.
So nakakatuwa that I'm now able to mentor him. And I'm now able to tell him, you know what? Just keep on doing what you're doing. You will have struggles along the way, pero don't give up.
Yeah.
Diba? And I'm happy that you're not a playboy. Be loyal to your girlfriend, diba? And that this is what she needs. So this is how I'm able to now return pay it forward. Yeah.
Okay. Kasi I'm really impressed with your strategy.
Oh, wow.
Hindi lang yun talagang selling real estate lang. It's really yung consulting, being an advisor to people who are investing in real estate or buying. Now, if someone is interested to like learn or know more or get advice, where can they find you?
Okay, right now, the most is the private coaching that I do. So 4 times in a month, I open slots, 4 slots. We'll give you the link below. You sign up your name, then we'll contact you. And we'll find the time. So, yeah.
I see.
That's it.
What can they expect from
the coaching session is really freewheeling. It can be... I've had a coaching wherein the grandfather opened it up. No. It's the second generation who open it up so that the first generation will hear my thoughts on planning for succession. For celebrities naman, the artistas, they ask for guidance on how to invest for their future pag hindi na sila as active in the movie world. I even have professionals. Doctors are a regular client of mine. Doctors kasi they're so focused on medicine, they need guidance on their investing. So I guide them. Then they appreciate it kasi nagiging clear. Yun.
I know sa Chinese kasi minsan marami yung second generation, yung first generation iniwan mga property. A lot of them sometimes don't know what to do with it. They also can get advice from that, right?
Oh yeah. Basta anything property related. Yep. And
Yung iba naman may away.
May away, yeah.
Lawyer
Relationship related. I would love to help out also.
Yeah. Okay. Yun. So, that's about it. I hope the people learn a lot because I myself have learned a lot and really inspired by your story.
Thank you, Jerome.
Kasi we, I think, grew up in the same neighbor sa Binondo.
Yeah, grew up Binondo.
And which I think na may miss na natin, no? Kahit yung mga hawan, yung mga simple things na lumpia.
Yes, simple things in life.
Yun. All right. So, this Mr. Carl D. So,
Jerome,
thank you very much.
Thank
you very much. All right. So, hope you learn a lot and see you in our next episode. Thank you.